Good people, what's going on? At the CJ Action Show, we like to cover a lot of topics, and it's a lot of humorous topics and things that we talk about because we want to keep it interesting. We don't want it always to be about something political or somebody's getting killed on Camden Road. We like to add a little fun to it. So today we like to talk about, and I want to talk about something that's very important that affects the African American community, men and women. I want to talk about three things: health screenings, exercise, and diet. Very important, very important. I'll be 52 in November, and that would be my 5th year since I had a colonoscopy. I had my first colonoscopy back in 2013 in Kuwait, and to be quite honest with you people, I was terrified because I did something to myself I shouldn't have done. I actually went to YouTube to see what the video of a colonoscopy looked like. Horrifying. They had the man, he had the gown with his ass out and his knees was propped up to his chest and his ass was tooted up, and the doctor had a scope, not a telescope. And the scope, real talk people, I'm gonna give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. The scope is about 3 to 4 feet long. Because when you think about it, up in your intestines and your small intestines, it's a highway of shit and mess that they gotta get through. So they have to, it's almost like a rotor-rooter type of method that the doctor was just prodding the hell out of this poor guy. So I said to myself, looking at this video, I was horrified. I did not want to go. I didn't want to go. So I'm saying to myself, 2 things must be happening to this young man right now. 1, he has to be sedated. There's no way on God's green earth this person could be up and dealing with that type of abuse and not moving a muscle. Or 2, my second concern was, what he's gonna have any rectal soreness the next day, right? So that was hey, I'm keeping it real here. At the CJ Action Show, we don't edit. We're not reading from a teleprompter. We're not reading from a script. I'm telling you how I felt, and I'm saying to myself, this man's ass must feel like he just got raped on C-76 on Rikers Island. Let's keep it real. And that's one of our fears as a men. As a men, certain things we just hold to ourselves is our manhood, and we don't want nobody, violating us in that type of manner. But what I will say is this: do not allow ego and your pride and ignorance lead to your death, because here's the reality of the fact. And if you don't believe my figures, you go do the figures, maybe they change. Colon cancer detected early is curable 90% of the time. 90% of the time, colon cancer detected early is curable. Those figures are so high that the rate of colon cancer in the African American community should be in single digits, but it's not. And it's not due to the fact that we ignore the symptoms. I know one guy, he had blood in his, you thought he was in a fight with Joe Louis. Blood all in the toilet, he ignored it, having abdominal pains, couldn't use the toilet. People, these are signs letting you know something is wrong. Something just don't happen to you. You just don't have a stroke. You just don't have a heart attack. Things lead up to these ailments, which are very severe, which could cause your life. It just doesn't happen. And what I mean by that is another topic: high blood pressure. The Heart Association came out with a new standard saying anything above 120/80. I don't know if I have that low figure correct. Look it up, Google. But anything over 120/80, I don't care if it's 121, 122, 123, 124, 125. It is now considered pre-hypertension. You are in that pre-hypertension stage. If your blood pressure is anything over 120, blood pressure is the silent killer. But if you have high blood pressure, once again, your body will tell you certain things. You're going to feel lightheaded. You're going to feel sluggish. But what we do in the African American community, we ignore symptoms. And unfortunately, I've lost a lot of friends in their 40s. They died of heart attacks. When I was younger, growing up in Jamaica, Queens, as a teenager in my early 20s, there was a statistics that said if you're a black male in New York and you reach the age of 30, you were normally out of that demographics where they fit, you would lose your life to homicide. So anywhere between 17 to 28, when I was a kid growing up in New York as a teenager, that was the demographics of a high percentage of African American youth and men were losing their life to homicide. Now that I'll be 52 in November, that's no longer the case. Now my friends are dying of heart attacks. My friends are dying of diabetes, kidney failure. They are dying of strokes. So people, especially you men, put your egos aside, get screening. Because here's the reality of the fact. A healthy man has 1,000 wishes, but a sick man has only one. Don't be that man with that one wish. Also, if you have any comments, please comment. We accept all comments. Hit the like button and subscribe to the CJ Action Show. We are the livest podcast in America. We have no teleprompter. We have no script. We shoot for the hip. What you see is what you get. We are doing it rough, rugged, and raw at the CJ Action Show. Peace!